Time to get back to natural.
Peace, Star Family. Happy full moon. It is December 7th, 2022, and we are experiencing our last full moon for 2022 on the Master Energy Self-Mastery number 7. This full moon is in Gemini at 16 degrees. 1 and 6 is 7. And again, our last full moon going into the new year, 2023, which is going to be the year of the number 7. This has come up in some readings previous, if you have been following me, in terms of this energy of self-mastery. And the number 7 representing that, representing being a bridge, that as above, so below energy. That is what we are experiencing right now with this final release to increase energy. Full moons are about release. And a little disclaimer that I wasn't sure if I was going to get this recording done because I am still very much in the throes of the downloads. And my notes and automatic writing is quite the scribble. You might hear me ruffling this piece of paper that I have. And to be honest, there's so many words on here that I don't even know if I will be able to read because of how the downloads come through. And I just kind of scribble them out. But I did want to try to get at least as much as I could to my queens, to the community, to the tribe, so that we're aware of how we can work with this final full moon of 2022 and it being in Gemini, which is about communication. It's about our choices. It's about duality. This is the twin energy and dilemmas. This is about our words and writing and how important it is for us to think about our self-talk and the things that we speak to ourselves and to each other, and how our words are spells and truly can manifest. When we say Ashe, we're putting a force behind what it is that we speak. And we have to be very mindful and soulful of the choices in regards to that. And, you know, how we repeat ourselves, the boundaries that we set when we say no and meaning it and all of these things. And it's really important, especially at this time with Mars in retrograde in Gemini, with that alignment, because of Gemini representing our words and communication, and whether it's in our speech, whether it's in our writing, that we don't allow certain outbursts and anger to kind of consume us during this time, again, with Mars in conjunction with the moon. And it's a time to release grudges and resentment. You know, we're aligning with the Mars retrograde with responding versus reacting. There are going to be flare-ups during this time, especially in regards to communication. So that's why it's really important to align in regards to how it is that you're choosing to say something. And again, particularly how you're saying things to yourself, and as well how you're saying things to others, especially in terms of dynamics that you wish to preserve. And again, just releasing, you know, any sadness and loneliness, resentment, things that are triggering, you know, at this time, especially during the holidays. We think about large gatherings and family gatherings and family triggers, and all of these things could create more of a flare-up. Somebody could just say something, just say that shit, you know what I'm saying? But we can also just say that shit. So it's really important for us to, again, be very particular about how we're processing that. What you're hearing in the background is a live alignment with this Gemini full moon. And I like to listen to the lives in particular because it creates this collective consciousness, as we know, is so much more powerful when we're manifesting, when we're releasing, when we're tapping in. And right now there are 225 people that are tuned in at this exact time with us. So we're just connecting. When I first pressed play and just started recording, it was 222. So brought in, you know, the 222 energy, a lot of partnership energy that's coming through. Again, twinning energy with Gemini. This is about calling in your twin flame, about your soulmates. This is the Ibeji and Orisha alignment in Yoruba and Ifa. So just all of the ways that we could think about that, again, dualistic, even in terms of our own polarities. You know, we look at a full moon, which is in the polar sign of the sun sign, which we are in Sagittarius season right now. So all of these alignments are very much apropos for this particular frequency. Gemini is a mutable sign. It's about being adaptable, being very playful. Playfulness is really important during a full moon because it can be very intense. And because we're in release mode, because we're in, thinking about doing our burning rituals and, all of the release to increase, and especially thinking about a full moon, the last full moon before the new year, we really want to think about shedding what it is that we do not want to carry over into this new year. And obviously there are different ways we could think about the new year. There's an astrological new year in March. We've got the sidereal new year. There's a lot of different alignments that we can think of. But in terms of the Gregorian calendar, January 1st is our new year. And we do still want to align again collectively, because on a collective consciousness level, everybody is tapping into the newness on that January 1st energy. The calendar does change from 2022 to 2023, from the 6-year to the 7-year. All of that is, again, transition and change and transformation. So we want to tap into that. We have a tendency of thinking about our New Year's resolutions, and we want an all year's resolutions, because oftentimes we set ourselves up to start something new for the new year, and then within a couple weeks, a couple months, we kind of fall off. So we really want to think about consistency through this. Capricorn energy coming in, for the next month. And Capricorn is all about hard work and is about discipline and is about consistency and doing what you say, right? So we want to start to already get into that mode as we're going into Capricorn season and going into our solstice and our 12/12 portal and all of that stuff. So let's tap in, because also when we think about, let's say, 12/12 portal, there's a lot of dormant DNA energy and alignments that are being activated that we can tap into, particularly during that 12/12 portal. The number 12 does represent a lot of sacred alignments in terms of tribes, in terms of astrology, in terms of nature, in terms of the cyclical, forces. And when we can align on the 12/12, which is again kind of our last portal in the sense of the master number portals again of the year, it is again very, very powerful, aligning with a full moon, which is about releasing. What do you not want to take over when you cross over to this portal, through this portal, when you go over into the new year, when you go over into the new, astrological season, once Capricorn season comes in? So we're thinking about that. We're looking at, again, the circles and cycles of life. I don't know if you all have noticed that there are animals and insects that are just walking around in circles for days. And then they move over into the center when they can't move anymore, when they're prepared to die. And there's something that is happening. And we've been talking about this. This has been alluded to. We look at it. We see it on social media. For those that are paying attention, we can feel the sense of change, transformation, new earth, things again dying out for there to be this new cycle, this new circle of life, and understanding the circle of life of death and rebirth. And our Scorpio solar eclipse really gave us such an incredible visual internally and externally in regards to that, because of that stillness that was required for us to really know what it was that we wanted to again release to increase. And now we're going back into this energy of release to increase, as we always do with full moons. So take a look at that, see how that resonates for you. But there is going to be a major system collapse in many ways. It is an as above, so below energy as well. So pay attention spiritually, as well as in terms of, matter and politics and government and society and all of those things, so that you can be as prepared as you can be. Again, I always say that the things that I share are not fear-mongering, which is why I also withhold a lot of the direct details and downloads that I get in terms of the system collapse, just because I don't want to create fear, and I also don't want to feel in some ways like I've caused it, especially when we talk about Gemini energy and how much our words are spells and have power, and that we literally can speak things into existence, and we tap in with our feelings and our thoughts and the things that we do and what we speak. And those 4 elements are definitely what creates the manifestation to come into form and experience. So I am very mindful and soulful in regards to my words, because I am also aware that we have impact. And that, as we bring things into existence for ourselves, we can bring things into existence for others and for the world. So we do have to be particular in regards to how we're choosing to speak in speech. This is very much a time of the unknown. So we do have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. We have to think about the fact that we understand that there's nothing new under the sun, right? We hear that saying all the time, nothing new under the sun. But we have to understand that the changes that are happening above. And as above, so below. So in many ways, yes, there's nothing new under the sun, but when there is major, major transformation happening above the sun, in alignment with the sun, on the level of the sun, then that is a change. That is major transformations that is going to affect us under the sun as well. We think about the system and things that are happening. And to be honest, the only way out is in. And that is in terms of understanding what's happening systematically and politically and all of that stuff. And more importantly, understanding what is happening within you. Understanding that with God within, you can never be without. So whatever it is that you're dealing with, the only way out of it is in. Look inward, face the challenges, feel it to heal it. Think about the instability and uncertainty. That's, again, all part of that time of the unknown. And that's where we kind of choose now to go through it with grace and gratitude, to align with serenity, to align with surrender. Because with faith, you can't have fear. The two cannot coexist. So we do have to make a choice. Again, that's where the Gemini energy is very prominent in terms of choices. When we think about the Lover's card and that being an issue, an energy of choices as well, and duality energy. In many ways, again, I try to watch my words. That's what this energy is all about. But with this system collapse and the things that are happening, we do have to align with the understanding that with new Earth coming, we do have to think about an extinction event. And that doesn't mean that there is not going to be humans and all of these things. It's just that the world is ending as we know it. And we have to be okay with that. And that's what we have to tap into to show our faith, to show the surrender to the universe, to source, to the creator, to nature. So that we say, I know that there is a major shift that is happening. And I want to shift instead of be shifted. I want to go aligned and along with you versus aligning with the fear-mongering, aligning with what the media is saying, aligning with all of these things that at the end of the day, there is a fence and we have to choose what side we're on. That's, again, part of the choices. That's part of this Gemini energy. What side are you on? And if you're on the side of God, on the side of faith, on the side of, again, God is you, and you are God. If you're on the side of your ancestors are you, and you are your ancestors. There is no separation. We are literally made of the same stuff stars are made of. So if we align with star seeds and aliens and nature and the sun and all of these things and God's self, then we have to understand that we are that. And understanding, again, in terms of our speech, in terms of our words, in terms of our ashe. God said, let there be light, and there was light. God said, all God had to do was say. That is how powerful the word can be. And if you are, and if you believe that you are made of that same stuff, if you believe that it is your birthright to co-create this existence, then as you as well, what you say is. I always say what I will be, instead of whatever will be. Because I'm taking the responsibility and the alignment with the creator, not a connection with the creator, because a connection still creates two separate entities that come together. Alignment means oneness. This is what we have to tap into, the oneness of source, of the universe. Through this energy, you could do your burning rituals. Again, that release to increase before the new year. I always say with your bay leaf burning, don't put anything on there that you don't necessarily want to claim. So don't write fear if you don't want to claim fear. Don't write scarcity if you don't want to claim scarcity. You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of make it abstract. Make it in an energy of, I release all self-limiting impositions or beliefs, self-imposed ideas, things that are a little bit more abstract. The removal command, like I always share, that is powerful to say at 11 o'clock a.m. and p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to join me anytime you happen to notice that time. And it's extra powerful to do collectively, and extra powerful to do during a full moon, during a release energy. And that is, we remove all disagreeable energies and entities from governments, agencies, institutions, and organizations from around the world. Ashe. And I say that 3 times in a row. So feel free to join me at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day, wherever you are. Just stop. It takes like 30 seconds, if that, to just say that 3 times. I've got it up on the screen right there for you. Jot it down. And another very powerful, as I've shared before, for release energy is the Hilarion incantation, declaration of forgiveness, because the energy that I tapped into for this particular moon is aligning with your feelings, aligning with forward momentum. It's about aligning with freedom. It's about forgiveness. And you have to be able to forgive, to move forward, and to achieve the freedom that it is that you want. When I posted that this morning, I wrote that this is the last full moon of 2022 and a powerful time to communicate your truth and take the opportunity to forgive whoever you need to move forward. Release the resentments and grudges to increase relief and growth. Suppressed pain cannot serve you. It only enslaves you. Prepare to ring in the new year with a renewed sense of freedom. That, again, in terms of the download and how those words came through, I'm grateful for, because when we think about resentments versus relief, I mean, again, we talk about choices. What's your choice? When we think about grudges versus growth, again, those are choices. What's your choice? Because you can't choose both. You can't have one and choose the other, because one will cancel the other out. And unfortunately, more often than not, the negative vibration will cancel out the positive one because you are giving the negative one any attention. You have to remove it completely. That is why removal commands are so powerful. We have to completely remove it. When it is out, then it is about what comes in. We have to clear out to call in. We have to release to increase. We cannot bring it in if that stuff, the yucky stuff especially, is bogging down and taking up the space and taking up the energy. I'm giving thanks. I was praying before this and just asked Spirit to come through, and really just the way that my ancestors and Spirit just comes through often, and the Creator comes through often, to just use my mouth, use my tongue, because again, I have not processed a lot of this. I will definitely have to listen to this back, because I am absolutely in channel mode, because I am not prepared for this recording at all. And like I said, I can hardly read these papers in front of me, but I hope that I am being clear. I hope that is coming through as concisely as I was hoping, because like I said, I have not really yet been able to process and really formulate the words and clarity that I usually try to prepare for to share. But this is really a chapter ending energy, and I really didn't want to not share anything. I could have shared some general links and different things, like from research that I do, so that I can also aggregate some of this information. That's the details part versus the downloads part, that I get ancestrally. But I didn't really get time to finesse all of the details and kind of translate my notes. But all of that to say, the forgiveness aspect, I wanted to get back to the forgiveness aspect, because of how important it is for us to release, again, the resentments and the grudges and all of that stuff. And it's just not worth it. You know what I mean? And again, that's what's going to allow us to be more triggered during this time, especially with Mars and the moon in conjunct in Gemini right now, with Mars in retrograde. It's just not going to be worth it, because you can say something because of how you're triggered that can end up causing a ripple effect. And that's how you're starting your new year. Like, you don't want that. You want to start the year clear. Start the year clear. So let that be a mantra. Start the year clear. As an affirmation, I am starting this new year clear. And you know what it is that is going to align with that clarity in more ways than one. That clearness, that catharsis, that cleansing. Clear it out. And when we think about Hilarion's incantation or that declaration, it's so powerful in regards to forgiveness, because we don't always know what it is that our souls have experienced or have done. But we do know that we're here again for a reason. And more often than not, we're here because of lessons that we didn't learn and we need to relearn, right? So oftentimes as well, when we think about our dynamics, we're here to kind of try to retrace something, to redo something. And it's hard for us to align with high vibrations and aligning with love and all of the things that are supposed to help us clear out the negative frequencies, because we're holding on to grudges, because we are, in an alignment of not being able to forgive, whether it's this life or previous lives, or that we as well have been the victimizer in this life or previous lives. And then that's also a karma that we're still holding on to. So this declaration that I've shared before, again, is so powerful, that I align with Ascended Master Hilarion. And it is, may my soul be forgiven for all that it has done, and I forgive all that has been done to my soul. So I will put that on the screen as well. Jot it down, speak that through, especially during the full moon energies, especially going into this whole end of the year. Because again, you just want to clear out. You want to clear out to call in, clear out to call in. Say that as well. I am clearing out to call in, because you know what you want, but there's stuff taking up space still. And we've been on this, and we've definitely been aligning with, we are here and we are ready to receive and all of that. But we have to be honest with ourselves, with the remnants, with the things that are lingering, because we're going again into another portal, 12/12 portal. We're going into our winter solstice. We're going into Chiron going direct. We're going into another Mercury retrograde, all of that before the new year. So let's really tap in to how we can work with this energy to release, so that we can really go into this new 7-year with an energy of self-mastery, with an energy of really being a bridge with this as above, so below energy. Because we are truly the middle. We look up at the sky, we see stars. We look at the bottom of the ocean, we see stars, quite literally. How could we not be that, right? And it's more powerful when we're able to actually see it and believe it. So boundaries, again, very important, especially during this time with Mars and the moon, in conjunct in Gemini. Just communicate your truth. Let people know. Again, if it's about releasing things and forgiveness, tell people, I forgive you. Whether you said sorry or not, I'm just letting you know. And even if you don't say it to them because you've kind of already severed something, or you're not in communication, again, communication being, ruled by Gemini, doesn't mean to open up that door again, but just release what it is that you're holding on to that made you close the door. Doesn't mean, again, to open it. It just means that you're releasing the emotions that caused you to have to close it, but knowing that it needed to be closed, because you are also choosing to not go down that same road again and repeat those cycles. All of these things, again, when you allow yourself to do that release, you're going to prevent overreactions. There's a major energy for potential overreactions during this time. And like I said, especially during the holidays, when we're with them aunties and the uncles and people doing a little drank and people be saying some shit, you know what I'm saying? So you want to just try to go into it already ready to let it slide off your back, because you're in alignment of release. Just let that shit go. Let it go. The overreaction, again, is in terms of outbursts and anger and, being impulsive. You may find yourself needing to repeat yourself, and that's frustrating sometimes. Absolutely. It's okay. Just make it okay. Just make it okay and keep it moving. And all of this too, no matter what, when there's conflict and challenge, when there's, people saying some stuff or whatever it is, and you get the vibe from people, all of that is just letting you know who's not your tribe. And I'm telling you, it is time to tribe up. So you have to give thanks for people showing who they are, for you to have that clarity. Again, we're asking for that clarity. So it's not always going to be good stuff. So we have to be open to the not so good stuff, but at least we know now. At least now we know. And that is powerful. And there's power in that, because then it's again, that's what allows us to be able to go forward. That is what allows us to be free, to tap into this freedom, because now we know. So be grateful for the knowing, even though it is a mourning in many ways, even though it is sad, even though, again, the loneliness, we're on a journey that we are going to be very lonely. You're going to stand out often alone. That is the truth on this journey, especially when so many people are following the herd, going around and around and around and around in circles until they die. Going back to me talking about what the animals are doing right now and the insects are doing right now, because they're feeling something. They're feeling something that many of us are feeling as well, but we don't necessarily know what it is. And energetically, it doesn't matter if we stay in alignment, because all of that matter is just matter. It is just the stuff. And we do have to transcend that. We do have to transcend that. That is where the true power lies. And that is in our minds and our hearts and our souls, in alignment with the Creator. So just stay tapped in to that. Again, in terms of the self-talk, it's so important. Again, I just want to repeat that in terms of communication with this moon in Gemini and with Mars in Gemini. What are you telling yourself? What is the self-talk? Because we are speaking things into existence. Think about your affirmations, your commands, the I ams, your declarations. Listen to subliminals, your binaural beats. Meditate, really just get as into yourself, again, that God within, as much as you possibly can. And you can only do it by taking time with yourself, self-study, self-love, self-value, self-affirming. And that is part of the boundaries. That is part of letting people know no means no, and letting them go. This is about go or grow or go. Those are your options. Talk about choices, back to choices. You have to think about for yourself, what are my choices? And ask straight up, what are the choices you're giving others? Because you get to decide somebody's role in your life. That's what this is about. That's what life is about. But you have to not be hypocritical and, denounce someone for not treating you a certain way, but then you're treating yourself that way. To judge someone for saying some shit to you, but you saying that shit to yourself, right? This is what this energy is about, and to really pay attention. Self-study, like I always say, to tap into your astrology, Vedic as well as Western, your human design, your galactic signature, I'm an INFJ personality, your Myers-Briggs personality test, all of those things. Do them quizzes, find out your personality types, whether you're the lover or the mother or all of those archetype stuff. I'm telling you, it's fun, first of all. But when you read that shit and you see yourself in black and white, and then you also do all of them and you see all of the alignments and why you are the way that you are, because you're doing all of these different personality tests that somehow lead you right back to the same fundamentals, it is so empowering. And it not only helps you see and understand yourself better, it helps you teach other people how to treat you and to explain to other people, this is who I am. So it's not even about an expectation. It's about a requirement. This is how you got to roll with me. Because now I know me and this is how I'm rolling with myself. And we're not even going to be a vibrational match if you're not able to rise up. And again, that's also part of you teaching them to teach themselves about themselves so that they can in turn teach you how to treat them. These are the things that create happy, harmonious, healthy dynamics in relationships, whether they're platonic, whether they're professional, whether they're passionate. And it starts with us. It starts with you. And your self-talk and your self-study and your self-love and your self-worth. So this is the time to do it. This is the time to release, again, all of the stuff that may be holding you back from being able to tap into that. Mercury retrograde, like I mentioned, December 28th, 29th, depending on where you are in the world. In Capricorn, we've got our winter solstice on the 21st. This is a Capricorn new moon on the 23rd. Capricorn season starting on the solstice. This is again cusp energy with Capricorn season. And Chiron direct on the 23rd as well, which is the 23rd of the new moon, as well as Chiron going direct. So this is major powerful energy, especially very Capricorn alignment. And Capricorn is about structure, is about your production, is about hard work. Again, discipline, consistency, doing what you say. This is an energy with Gemini letting us understand our words and the things that we say, and creating those affirmations, creating those commands, creating that plan of action. The plan of action. And then come Capricorn season, it's about taking action, getting that shit done, walking into this new year. I know what I'm going to do now because I said what I said, and now I'm going to do what I said. We've got on the 6th, Mercury went into Capricorn, which is the retrograde that is coming in. And then on the 9th, we had, or in the 9th coming, Venus, because I'm recording this on the 7th, on the full moon. So yesterday, Mercury went into Capricorn. And then on the 9th, Venus is going into Capricorn. So again, very heavy Capricorn energy, which is giving us very, very solid foundations and structures in regards to how we want to step into this 7-year. So, I think that's it. 12/12 portal, like I said, just tap into that energy. Look online as well. There's so many other videos and different things. I don't think I'm going to get an oracle observation done for this moon because I've got a lot on my plate right now. And I'm, like I said, still so in the throes of this energy. And oftentimes this is part of the boundaries, that I'm now just kind of vibing with y'all. But it's important to, when you're working in service of others and you want to share and you want to give and you want to make sure that people have what they need, it's easy to prioritize that and then end up realizing that you told everybody else what to do and then you didn't get to do it yourself. And that's something that I'm learning for myself as an intuitive, as a clairaudient, as a channeler, as somebody that is able to communicate very directly and tangibly with my ancestors and those of others, that I get the messages and then I give them here, just like I'm doing now, here, do this, say this. And then I have to make sure that I'm making the time so that I as well can do this, say this. I have to listen back to these messages because I don't always know what spirit had for us to say, to do, to experience, to bring things into form and experience. So I'm going to take my own advice more. That's part of my all year resolution every year, all year, to do what it is that I say and share, because again, it is definitely for the community and I am being used as I asked. I remember years ago, I just got the download to say, choose me, use me. And I have been saying that to spirit, saying that to the creator, saying that to my ancestors since that day, all day, every day, choose me, use me. And they have complied. And I am honored and I am grateful and I am humbled. And I just have to make sure that in that service, in that work, that I am doing what I need to do for myself, that I am practicing what I preach, that I am taking the notes as well, that I am creating the plan of action and then the to-do lists to make it happen. And I definitely have been, but there's always more that we could do. When we think about what it is that we want, like if you want more, you have to do more. Because if you keep doing the same stuff, you're going to get the same stuff. That's just the math. That's alignment, right? And it is what you choose to be aligned with. And this, again, Gemini energy is all about your choices. So think about it, what it is that you want, what it is that you feel. And more than anything, like I said, through this energy, really be very, very particular about your written and your spoken word, the power in that, what you're telling yourself, your self-talk, what it is you're telling others, what you're saying for the world, being impeccable with your word. Because all of it manifests, all of it is spells. They call it spelling. When you write these words, they call it spelling for a reason. In Sanskrit, there's a term referred to as vakshudi. And it's a mantra that I say 108 times every morning, amongst a plethora of other things for my morning meditations and alignments. But vakshudi is an alignment with your word and making sure that what it is that you say is in alignment with creation, with not destroying, with building, with love, with healing, with kindness. And that way, even when you say some shit, you're able to at least be like, yo, I said that shit. That's not vakshudi. And I say that to myself whenever I say something that's not in alignment with the love and the light and building, and high vibrational. I'm able to at least catch it. I'm still working on it. We're humans living we're divine beings living human experiences, right? That is what it is. So we're still gonna fall into certain habits and certain patterns. But what's important is to be aware of them, to be able to catch it when it happens and not judge it. And if anything, be proud. Be like, yo, yeah, I said that, but I got it. Because the The ones that are asleep are the ones that just keep spelling and cursing, straight up cursing themselves and others because they're not aware. You're able to undo something like that when you're able to be aware, even if it's low vibrational. We've got 17 seconds to bring it back into the high vibes. So as soon as you catch it, the higher chance you have to get the momentum building back up instead of downward. So just tap into the power of your word, your Ashe. Give thanks to Baba Eshu, who is the keeper of Ashe, that gives us access to the ancestral realm. I am Omo Eshu, I am child of Eshu, and I am honored every day when I align with that Ori, the fact that Eshu has my head because of word, because of Ashe, because of being the gatekeeper and being a messenger. And in turn, that is my purpose. So there's no accident for that to be the alignment, for that to be my Baba, right? Think about your removal commands, like I shared, the forgiveness incantation. Say that again, your bay leaf burn, just keep it abstract, and even just put like some general removal commands on there. And another very, very powerful thing that I say, Kai and I say every morning, that I got from the I Am affirmations with Saint Germain, which again, please check that out, as well as All About Love. I always say, definitely please, bell hooks, All About Love, New Visions, take a read on that. But the I Am affirmations, Saint Germain, take a listen. That's on YouTube. And you can say into your water, I am the presence fulfilling my world with perfection this day. I am perfection. Whatever left of imperfection in me has to get out. Ashe. I will put that up on the screen. Speak that every day so that whatever it is, you don't even have to name it. That's what's part of this abstract. You don't need to name, because by naming something low vibrational, you're claiming it, right? You name it to claim it. So we only want to name the good shit straight up. So you just say it, whatever left, whatever it is, you know, spirit knows. Gotta go. It's gotta go. So powerful energy to do that as well, again, especially for release. So that's why I wanted to share these particular release commands that are extra powerful during a full moon. And I've got more to share for potentially the 12/12. I'll see if I might go live. I'm not sure. I'll see how it goes. And maybe the winter solstice or the new moon on the 23rd. But I do owe y'all a live. I do owe y'all some speed reads and all of that. Just juggling and so in this download energy, and the DNA upgrades are like physical. So I'm feeling it. But I'm glad that I got this out. I hope that it is clear in some ways. I hope that it is conducive. I hope that it is helpful. There's so much more. I'm actually kind of starting to read a few things that I have here that I didn't mention, that now it's, getting a little bit more legible as I get more aligned, but don't want this to be too long. So I will end it here, and I do hope that that is enough for you to be able to work with this energy and tap in and do further research, or just touch base with me, hit me up. These are conversations, as tribe, that we could and should just have, which is why I love going live, for us to just kind of vibe out, and doing the Zooms every once in a while and all of that stuff. So I'm here for y'all. You know it. If I do get to do a reading, I will post that up. If not, then until the next time, lest we forget. Time to get back to natural. Peace.